How to start your Monday morning. Start the fire, boil the water, grind the coffee, add filter, coffee in the filter, water into filter, watch it drip, more water, watch it drip some more, fill your cup, raise your cup, and no. Leave the house and leave it up to the professionals to make the coffee. I'll stick to the conversations. Welcome to Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Caffeinated Conversations on location, and it is so exciting because we are actually next door to the studio, Every Media. I do the show there on Mondays, but we are in Alchemy with Johnny, who is the owner. The Speakeasy is downstairs. I believe, Jeff, you've been down there, right?
I have been to Speakeasy before,
you've been to the
yes.
Speakeasy. I love the Speakeasy. Spent many a holiday there by myself, whatever.
Come on now. You're never by yourself.
Okay.
I'm there.
You are there. Sandra's there sometimes too. So thank you so much for joining us. And of course, today's question and the show is all about what makes a date brunch worthy. Okay, so that is kind of the deal. And we have so many things here that are brunch worthy already. The shrimp and grits, the champagne. And Johnny, I'm going to let you take it for a minute because we are so excited to be here. And you have done so much with this restaurant. And you weren't always a restaurateur.
No, actually, I've only been a restaurateur for about 13 years now. But yeah, I used to be in the injection molding industry. Boy, that's exciting, isn't it?
That is so sexy.
Didn't champagne savor much champagne in that industry, But yeah, I've been in business about that long, and really bought this place as Mr. B's.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a big sports bar, nightclub.
That's right, it was.
And
yeah.
I was fresh out of culinary school. I really never thought I was going to buy a restaurant. I mean, that wasn't the goal. Back then I was like super into Food Network, and I wanted to do some TV stuff, and I was hired by Zoop Restaurants to fly around the country and do cooking spots for them, and I did some local stuff, a little local TV show, and then I went to culinary school, and I just fell in love with culinary school. I mean, culinary school was so much fun, and I mean, really fun. It was a thrill for me. So I said, hey, I'm going to buy a restaurant.
Because everybody says that.
Well, I had been in business for a long time, and I was in the automotive business for a long time, and so I knew how to run a business, and I just said, well, let's go shopping for businesses. So I looked it up quite a few around town, actually. Fishbones. There was Captain Jack's over in St. Clair Shores. But this place, had been in business a long time. It had made money for a long time. It had like 10,000 covers a month coming through it. I figured I couldn't screw it up. But it's true. It's a high-risk business. So, if you can walk into one that's like, you can go into one that's shut down or there's been 15 things over like the last 5 years, and what are the chances of you being successful, Whereas if you buy someplace that's been around for like 35, 40 years, has made money every year, you can look at their financials, you have a little model to work towards, you got a ton of people coming in the door, it's hard to mess it up. But it was a sports bar, and the style of food was bar food, and it was a nightclub. It was a prolific nightclub. Like 300 to 400 people every Friday and Saturday night, 10 bouncers, we body searched. And, and this is true. I saw a guy pull an AK-47 out of his car one time in front of the restaurant.
Seriously?
Yeah, in Royal Oak.
On Main Street.
And he didn't do anything with it. There was actually, the situation was we had two groups of guys, one from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one from Pontiac, and they were not getting along. And I had 10 huge guys, bigger than me, that bounced. And they kicked him out. Well, they took the fight outside, and the one guy wanted to intimidate the other guys, and he pulled this gun out, and they never shot it. And they did disperse. We didn't have a big problem, but it was like a kind of a come to Jesus moment for me. I'm like, well, I'm at the time like 55 years old and 57 years old, and I won't go any higher. And I got a family and a wife. I'm like, no, this isn't worth it.
So when you bought the restaurant, it was Mr. B. So when you bought the restaurant, it was Mr. B's, and you continued to operate it as Mr. B's for a while. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I operated it for 7 years. as Mr. B's. But I opened the speakeasy downstairs.
Okay.
You know, I had this room downstairs that was a banquet room, and then it wasn't really being used. And I had a liquor license down there, and I kept saying, "What can I do down there? What can I do down there to use it?" You know. And I tried like salsa dancing, didn't really turn out too good. Charity poker, tried that. That didn't work out too good. And then my son actually moved to Denver, and he's the one that got me turned on to craft cocktails in the first place when he lived in Detroit. So he went to Denver and he said, "Hey, Dad, come on, you got to do this. You got to come see this. There's all these cool speakeasies out here." So I did just that. I flew out to Denver and he showed me all these cool speakeasies, and I came back and opened up Johnny's. And it's been really a hit since I've opened it, you know, and it's fun. I mean, it's an adventure, right? You got to ring a doorbell, a secret code, you know. We got really dramatic cocktails and good food and great wine and but you know, so then I had Mr. B's upstairs and Johnny's downstairs, and literally, you know, like from 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning is always the dicey time in a nightclub, you know, because that's when you got to get people to leave. You know, that's when most of them have quite a fair amount of alcohol in them, right? So I didn't really like that time of night. So the speakeasy closed an hour earlier, and I would go downstairs, literally sit on the couch, and I would listen to the footsteps upstairs. And when I stopped hearing footsteps, then I'd go back upstairs. And once in a while, you'd be down there, and you'd hear a stampede, and then you were really worried, because that was a fight. Yeah. You know, we really didn't have much of that, but it happened once or twice. And they didn't last very long because I really did have a big security group. But anyway, so what happened was, but here's the gig. You know, you're running a nightclub and you get, it's like $4,000 just at the door. I mean, you're collecting a lot of cash. You know,
you get to party.
Well, you do, but truthfully, my idea of partying is savoring champagne. You know, and like good bourbon and good wine. You know, that was more of a Long Island iced tea and, you know, iced tea shot kind of group. So I wasn't quite in that genre. You know, everybody's got a right to have a good time. I'm just a little bit old for that particular time.
Okay.
So, but, you know, it was making a lot of money. So I couldn't pull the plug on it. So Gretchen pulled the plug on it for me.
Who's that?
The governor.
Oh.
The pandemic.
The pandemic.
The pandemic hit. That was it. She pulled the plug. She said, "You got to close down. Everybody closed down. All the restaurants closed down."
They closed the hair salons too. So.
Yeah. And it was like, well, you know, then you're sitting there going, when's she going to let us open up?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it was a while. I mean, it was weeks and weeks and weeks. And it kind of freaks you out. So then when they opened you up, it was like, oh, half you know, you can open at half capacity and you have to close at 11. Well, that doesn't do a nightclub very good, right? So I just decided, that's it. I'm out of the nightclub business. You know, I'm shut down anyway. I'm going to rebuild this thing. And we decided to go farm to table. You know, I decided to take all the TVs out and replace it with art. That's why we got so much art in here.
So the art here is amazing because, like that piece right there, what is that made from?
That's actually made from our food scraps. We're big on sustainability here. We compost everything, even with the scraps off the plates. And our farmers actually buy our compost and put it on their fields. It's a full cycle gig, which is cool. And that piece of art was done by a young man down in Detroit. The hulls from our lemons and oranges and limes are the background paint. And so it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
But you know, now with alchemy, I can do these kind of things. Like I can do cool things and, you know, like cool cocktails and wine and cool food.
So do you have any bouncers here now?
I haven't kicked anybody out in 6 years. Honest to God. You know, I used to have like a personal relationship with the chief of police.
Yeah.
Now it's like the only time they come in is like, I got to bring my wife here.
No.
You know?
I love that. And, you know, so this is fine dining at its best, alchemy. And I can be out in Shelby Township, I think I was. I was at the bank and somehow you got mentioned. Oh, the guy says, "Oh, I'm a foodie." And I said, "Oh, have you ever been to Alchemy in Royal Oak?" He's like, "One of my favorite places."
Oh, that's awesome.
And I heard about the speakeasy all the time. And it's very cool because like what you said, you have to have the code, right?
You do have to have the code, and you know, you got to go down into the bowels of the restaurant. You got to, you know, walk through a freezer door. So it's a little bit of an adventure, you know. I always tell people, if you're bringing a date, don't tell them where you're taking them.
Because they'll think they're on a Law and Order episode.
Yeah, they're gonna. It's a surprise. It's cool.
It's a pleasant surprise. But if you're walking down those stairs and you don't know where you're going, I can imagine being a little nervous about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm thirsty, and I have to say I've been waiting to open this
Okay, I
bottle
know.
of champagne.
So here's
we're-
the deal. So Johnny his specialty is champagne, and obviously, see, I love the smoke. It was all about the smoke, right?
Grateful.
Can you see that, Capri? Is it awesome? Here, I'm going to move the rose just because it's so gorgeous. Okay, so this is where the sword comes in handy, right?
Well, this is the key, Like, I'm going to savor this bottle of champagne, which is a very old-fashioned way of opening a bottle of champagne, and it's kind of fun. I think it's really a lot of fun.
It's a little dangerous, but whatever.
Well, just a touch, just a touch, but not too bad. And but the key is you got to get the neck of the bottle cold so that
What?
you can go like that. There
I was going to ask you how good your insurance policy is, but I guess we won't need it.
Okay.
We
That
got
was exciting.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The whole top came off. Okay.
Okay, let's just pour some of this bad boy.
Okay, that's kind of crazy. Yesterday we were on Fox, and Charlie Langton actually sabered it out in the garage.
He was
or
thrilled. He
whatever.
was thrilled.
And he did on the first try because you don't always get it on the first try, do you?
Well, the first time Charlie tried, he kind of like swung and whiffed. He did. He swung and whiffed.
A little more,
Second time he did good.
Yeah.
Second time he did good.
Okay, all right. So so that was shocking to say the least.
It was. I was just getting ready to ask how good your insurance policy is, but it looks like you didn't need it. You lucked out this time, so that was great.
You can tell who the attorney is in the house. Okay, so I guess I should say.
Did you guys sign the waiver?
Did you?
It probably wouldn't hold up anyway.
Okay, so Johnny obviously is the owner of Alchemy. Okila, you were on the After Dark show. You are a hairdresser.
Yes,
And
I'm also part of the Every Woman cast. So yes, so that is always exciting. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons I have on all this pretty pink right now. I feel like a whole flower. I don't
And
normally wear pink.
sorry, what's that? What's that?
Right.
Woman cast?
Yeah.
And where can people hear that at, or where?
Every TV Plus. Now that's the one thing is getting me to remember all the details, right? But we're getting there. We're getting there. But I'm also a hair and makeup artist and a serial dater. Right. And I'm going to have to bring somebody to Alchemy, okay?
You are.
Because I think that's going to be exciting to bring them down to the speakeasy and like, guess where you're going? I'm looking forward to that.
to the freezer, man. You're going to the freezer.
I'm not going to tell them
Are
either.
you speakeasy worthy?
Yes.
Okay, so the question, so Jeffrey, you are a divorce attorney. And so when I said to you, okay, so can you come on this show and can you talk about who is brunch worthy and who is not? And you've got some like horror stories of your clients, right?
It's some horror stories and some positive stories,
Really?
but yeah, I've got
Okay,
all kinds of stuff. No, it just it depends too how fresh somebody's divorce is and whether they're still going through the divorce or have been divorced for a while or not. And obviously, brunch is totally different than a night date or a dinner date or a after dinner drink date or a nightclub. Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Every
You
single
blend.
kind of date is
You
different,
don't want
right?
dinner
It's
at a
different
nightclub.
than a coffee date. Every type of date is different, and it depends how long. First of all, how fresh out of your past relationship are you, and also how well do you know this person? Is it a blind date? Is it not? What is it? And I've got a personal story from back when I was single, when I was set up on a blind date, and it happened to be a brunch date. And what happened is I get there, and the woman I was meeting for the date had to work later in the day, so she couldn't have anything to drink. And she just kept complaining about how she couldn't have anything to drink. I go, why does it matter? You're going to work after. It's fine. I'm not drinking either. I drove here. I'm not going to have anything to drink. She goes, well, I can't be social unless I have something to drink. I rushed that brunch like you wouldn't believe and got out of there because I like to talk to everybody no matter where I'm at all the time. And I couldn't have somebody stand next to me or be with me that's not social unless they're drinking. So that was a big red flag for me, and I was out of there fast. But, as far as, listen, a lot of times when somebody's going through a divorce or recently divorced, or even if they've been divorced for a while, and a brunch date is different than a nighttime date or a date when you're out of town or late at night or somewhere else, because you're more likely to run into more people. It's usually the lights are bright, even though they're kind of dim in here. But usually there's bright lights and there's other people in there. There could be families there and kids there. So it could be your kids' friends that are there, or kids' friends' parents, or other families. And they might be quick to judge, and they might run back and report to your ex who it is that you're with. And sometimes your ex, that other parent, could be using it against you in a child custody case or a parenting time case. And what if that person has a criminal record? Or what if that person has something else going on in their life or something to where the court could deem them unsafe or unfit to be around your children? And so that rarely happens, but it does happen. It's all stuff to think about. Something else to think. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, they need to check Otis. Okay.
Say what Otis is.
Okay, so Otis is, you can go on there and it shows like all the people's criminal backgrounds. You can put a person's name in and it's going to show you if they are in trouble or have been in trouble or if they are some type of, child predator or what have you. And like I have one of my clients, she just did this recently. So she finally went out with somebody who had been DMing her, over and over. She finally goes out with him. She said something just seemed off. So she checks Otis and finds out that he had just got out of jail about a year ago for breaking and entering. Now, she is a woman who's pretty well off. So the last thing you kind of want to be involved with would be a person who has that type of record. So luckily she did check Otis because she was able to go ahead and get on up out of that situation quickly, So I think that is the best thing when you start thinking about dating somebody. Those are something that you could do to just check to see, is this person got a record or what have you.
And it seems like a brunch date would be a little more serious than, hey, I met somebody at a nightclub or a bar at night and hung out and had a good time and whatever, because more people are less likely to see that or less likely to judge. Also, don't forget, a lot of times later at night, people are usually liquored up and not paying attention or not worried about you and only worried about themselves or who they're going to find, or they may not remember next morning. But at brunch, when people are sober or typically sober and typically they're either with their families or another date and not out hunting. And so they might be there they might be judging you a lot more. So that's something to think about. The other thing too with brunch dates and a lot of stories. So I also handle a lot of drunk driving cases, and a lot of times people don't think about it during the day. A lot of times, thankfully, more and more people in this date and time and this time in our society, and when rideshare is readily available, people plan ahead. They think about it for the nighttime and the evenings, but they don't really plan on that for brunch and earlier in the day. They think, hey, I might have one drink and be okay. And sometimes that one drink leads to more, and sometimes they may not be okay. And they don't necessarily think about that. Or what it might do too is sometimes people want to drink more when they're on a date, and at brunch, they may be prohibited. Maybe they have to go to work afterwards, like that lady I was talking about. Or maybe they did drive there and aren't willing to leave their car there and Uber back or Lyft back or do whatever it is. So that's also something else to think about. And I caution my clients all the time, whether it be my divorce clients or my clients going through criminal cases, but especially divorce clients, because the criminal clients shouldn't be around alcohol anyway at all. But I caution them all the time. I go, listen, do not have a single sip of alcohol and drive. And even if your date shows up and drinks and then gets in the car to drive, that could be a red flag. Do you really want that? Because what if your kids are in the car and then guess what? That leads to custody, parenting time issues, potentially CPS, Child Protective Services being involved, all kinds of stuff. So I'm not here to scare people out of having a good time at brunch. Have a great time at brunch, but there's a lot more to think about, a lot more to think about and a lot more to prepare for. And listen, anybody can have a good time anywhere, anytime, but just be smart about it. And it can really come back to bite you in the butt hard, especially if you have kids with someone else and there's all kinds of issues that it could lead to, and it could open up all kinds of problems. So be smart about it. Also, one other quick thing is, if it's your weekend with the kids or your parenting time with the kids, while it may not be held against you, but it's also not a good idea that you're out on a date while your kids are at home, maybe with a babysitter or something. And not to say that that's not okay, and parents are allowed to do that. But there's so many more things to think about when it's a daytime date or a brunch date. And typically brunch is a weekend. So just plan ahead and make sure you guys are safe. And I'll be enough of the Debbie Downer now on this. But go ahead.
Thank you. I feel
We're
like
running a special for divorced people next week. People going through divorces, it's 50% off on all champagne.
All right. All right.
Uber included.
Uber included.
Yeah. I'll pitch in. I'll pitch in to help cover their Uber.
There you go.
Okay, well, you do know that I appreciate that, obviously, right? Because I do, a lot of speaking for Mothers Against Drunk Driving and everything, because of my history with my previous husband who actually died. He was killed by a drunk driver. So that is something that I take into consideration, and that is always why, honestly, having champagne and having fun and doing these kind of shows, even the After Dark show, it's very interesting to me because it's like, well, you want to have fun, you want to be out there, but you do have to be careful. So I do appreciate that. You know that very much. So Okila, you were on the After Dark show last week, and it was very funny because I've been divorced about 3 years now, and the whole idea of being seen at brunch or whatever it is, right? I'm like, don't pay any attention to me. I, of course, the one time I went out, ran into my kids' best friend's parents.
See?
Right?
Telling you, it
And
happens.
so it was okay,
Yeah, okay.
but it was still stressful because you really don't think about that.
Yeah.
But Okila, you have a very different take on dating because you were a big hit at the After Dark, and you said, well, dating is just like entertainment.
Yes, it is. To me, I think that brunch would be like the safest date that you could go on because you got to think about it. Like he said, it is the daytime. You're not drinking as much. You're going to see somebody in the daytime, and then you're not stuck with them all day either. It's different when it's at night. You're at the club, you have been drinking, we coming outside and, it's dark out and you got to maybe get close.
The lights are shining, the moon
but
is
in
out.
the daytime, that is not the case. We're a little bit more casual, and we
Not
can
gonna
sit
be macking out in the parking lot.
Right, we're gonna sit across from each other, maybe not next to each other in that little cozy booth too tight. So it does give you a chance to really get a chance to know a person because over brunch, you're gonna get a chance to talk. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not heavy music that's blaring over, the speakers, so you can't even hear what they're talking about, and they're just trying to fill you up, maybe. Or you could be trying to fill them up. It doesn't matter. But the point is, on brunch, you're not normally, doing that type of thing. You're really getting to know each other.
But
maybe.
Doesn't it seem like brunch is kind of maybe not a first date type of thing? It seems like it's more of a third or fourth, like,
No, that should definitely be the first date, I would think. Because you're getting to know the person. At night, you're going to party. Everybody can party and have a good time. That's easy. Like if I bring somebody downstairs to the speakeasy, I already know I kind of like them. Okay, I would want to kind of like them because I'm about to bring you to this dark, swanky place, and we're gonna be close as we walk down the stairs.
No, you got that on point.
She's right.
You really got that on point.
I wouldn't want to take my first date there because it could feel sexy and become sexy, but I haven't got a chance to know them yet, to know, do they deserve that type of energy yet? So.
Okay, so Johnny,
I think that's on point. I mean, it's interesting because when I opened the speakeasy, my son said to me, make it a date place, Dad. You need to make this place a date place. And it really is. And actually both restaurants are date places. And when I say that, we don't have any TVs. And one of the reasons we don't have TVs is because it distracts people. I mean, you're going to be on a date and you're going to be watching a game and your date's looking at you watching a game or whatever you're watching. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really a distraction. And, these restaurants are really not so much pickup bars, but they're a place where you can come and bring a date and have a nice conversation and talk about, and we give you things to talk about. I mean, when you savor a bottle of champagne, it's something to talk about. Or we bring you a cocktail that's in a pot with a flower on top. It's something to talk about.
So even the plants here that you have.
The farm to table aspect.
Yeah,
I mean, we have conversation pieces, and I call this casual fine dining. But then, I mean, if you really want to have fun, take them downstairs. And then I always say, if you take somebody downstairs on a date and it doesn't work for you, it's your fault.
You're like, come to the freezer with me.
It's designed to seal the deal. Let's be honest.
Okay, so you have been to the speakeasy.
I have. I came here once about a year and a half ago. I remember it was my old law school professor was in town meeting some of her friends, and they told me we're going to this place in Royal Oaks. And so I live in Birmingham, and my office is in Birmingham. So I get spoiled being there because it's easy to walk everywhere. I don't ever have to get in a car or Uber very far usually. and just walk. And so she goes, we're going to Royal Oak. And even though it's right down the street, it seems so far away, but it's really not. I made it here quicker today than I do a lot of places that are even in Birmingham. So it's really not far at all. But anyway, so she goes, we're going to this place in Royal Oak. And so we all Ubered here from the restaurant that we were at initially, or the bar we were at initially in Birmingham. We Uber here. And they pull us in this alley, and I'm like, are you sure we're at the right place? Everybody's Googling, checking, trying to make sure they're at the right place. And we come in, this back door, freezer. I go, are you guys sure this place isn't out of business? And they're like, no, it really is. Like, really, where are you taking us? I'm like, I got to be careful where I go. Like, no. As soon as we got down there, it was absolutely amazing. The drinks were great. The ambiance was great. The lighting was great. The staff was unbelievably friendly. We had such a great experience, and I can't wait to check it out again. It was really phenomenal.
So it's so funny, John.
It felt like, sorry, real quick. It felt like I was out of town. You were speaking in Denver. Anytime I travel, I was just recently actually in places in Canada where they had a lot of speakeasies, and it felt that way. It felt like I was out of town. I didn't feel like I was here at home, which is great. It's a great experience to have when you want to get away and feel like you're out of town without having to travel very far.
Just on Main Street, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
So you smiled big when he said, we were Googling, checking in, seeing if it was closed, and the whole idea of people actually getting a little nervous. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing.
Well, I always say to people, we don't have a sign. There's no sign on the door. I mean, it's a kitchen door with a doorbell. There's no sign at all, But we'd do 3 turns on Friday and Saturday nights. I mean, that's a business.
That is.
It really
phenomenal.
But when people come, they don't really have any idea what they're going. You go down the stairs, and we don't dress it up at all. I mean, it's pretty much pure restaurant, and it just, it becomes an adventure, and that's what you try to make it as an adventure, because you don't want to just do something boring. And actually, what it really taught me was the power of uniqueness. Especially in this town, because we got so many sports bars in Royal Oak, and there's so much bar food in Royal Oak that. And that's one thing I learned was owning Mr. B's is that, there's so many people that do the same thing I do. How do you differentiate your hamburger? I mean, you know how many different hamburgers there are? How do you differentiate that? And we were a big place. You had to fill 300-400 seats. But the speakeasy, it's so unique that, it sells itself. And I buy into that. I really buy into that. If we can do things here that are unique, that's part of our mission statement. The mission statement for this company is to fill niche markets, to do things that other people don't do, and do it really, really well. That is our mission, and it works for us. I mean, there's all kinds of missions, right? But I think especially in this town, that's a mission that has served us well.
Okay, so you are married. How long have you been married?
38 years.
Okay, so 38 years. How often do you take your wife to the speakeasy?
Well, normally, honestly, when my wife comes, there's a reason, like other family members are coming. And this a couple weeks ago, her sister-in-law was in town. She wanted to bring some friends to the speakeasy, so we got together at the speakeasy. So, we've got kids in town and stuff. So when they come, she comes. We don't. I mean, when she and I go out on a date, typically we go somewhere else because she knows if I'm sitting here, I'm watching everybody. I mean, if that person doesn't look happy, I'm not happy. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly,
You're working.
I mean, I don't care. It's impossible. I mean, if I look over there and see something on that table that, I want to go bust the table, and it doesn't really work too well if you're trying to have a nice time with your wife. So.
Thoughts, Mr. Abood?
I agree with that. You don't, your date or your spouse, to bring them to where you work, you're right. You can't relax. You can't give them full undivided attention. Just like you said, that's why you took the TVs off here, is so people aren't paying attention to that. The big problem my wife and I always have is I'm glued to my phone, and my clients everything's always an emergency, and I'm always on my phone. I try to be as responsive as possible to my clients. I remember there was one time several years back, because I don't even have that phone anymore. She made me go get a second phone for a trip to Hawaii. Oh. And I remember it was what they call baby moon or something. It was right before my son was born. She wanted to take the last trip together. So we went to Hawaii, and she really encouraged me to go get a second phone number, second phone line to use while I was there. And I only gave that to my office manager and a few people just for emergencies only. And we ended up having a great time. It was only 3 days. We had a great time, but that's the only time I've really ever unplugged from work. And it was incredible. And the people that we met there, to this day, I'm still friends with them, people that I met at this resort in Hawaii. But it was great to unplug and be away from work. And And work is different for everybody. And like you said, for you, it's here if you're here at the restaurant, you're gonna be paying attention. For me, unfortunately, it's my phone that follows me around everywhere. But
Isn't that referred to as a burner phone?
it wasn't
Yeah,
used,
I think you're right. It's a burner.
it wasn't used for that purpose.
Right.
And after that trip, I truly don't even know what happened to it. So
No, you didn't say the burner phone.
burner phone for my wife.
I clearly watched too much Law and Order. That's the freezer downstairs. That's the burner phone. So, okay. So you've been married 38 years. As far as you and your wife's first date, was it a brunch date? Can you even talk about that? I don't know.
Well, I met my wife at a party. She worked for the Gap clothing store then, you know, and they would throw parties for their staff, for their managers, you know, because it was a party where like they were young managers. They didn't make a lot of money, so they threw parties for them to keep them happy and stuff. But they were all women. I mean, 90% of the people who worked there, except for my one buddy friend, who was one of the only male managers. So when they had parties, it was like, bring your friends, bring your friends. So I was one of those bring your friend guys. So that's. I'll tell you a funny story though, because you know I met my wife there, and then we went on our first date, and we were going to go to a flea market. Okay, because she liked to go to flea markets, and I didn't know this, but she was dating another guy.
Oh.
And his mom was at the flea market.
Oh, see, it goes back to what you were saying.
Now she was on the way out. I mean, she wasn't. It wasn't that controversial, but but she knew this lady, and boy, she felt really bad about it. You know, so that was kind of an odd thing. You know, so then I took her to the top of the punch just to make sure that I had things going in the right direction. You know, and that worked. That worked. You know, that worked really well. You know, so. Yeah, it kind of started off on a spicy note. You know, that was a little different for me, but I didn't quit.
Right. Okay.
You know, I knew what I wanted. I mean, I was like, I didn't say, hey, I'm punting on this. I went for it. You know, I was inside the 20. I was going to get in the end zone. I'm telling
Clearly,
you.
he's a football player, right?
Yeah. Can you tell?
Yeah. Okay, so Akila, what has been your worst date ever?
One of my worst dates, I would say, was going out with a guy, and he kept taking pictures of us. It was sort of like I didn't even know if we liked each other yet, and it was like every moment was a ussy. It was a ussy. And I felt like, you know, like who are you trying to show these to? So it just felt like, I don't know. He was just acting like.
That's weird.
Like I was Janet Jackson. You know, that's what I felt like. I felt like he was.
You look a little like Janet Jackson, actually.
You don't want your date to act like a fan. You know, I want treat me regular. You know, like still like a lady, of course. But like he just was so over the top. Like I'm with her, you know, and it was just taking pictures and videos and everything, and it was just cringeworthy. You know,
Right.
because I'm just like, what are you doing with these pictures? I mean, it's the first date,
Wow.
you know, and you're like taking pictures of every single thing we did. And I didn't even mind if it's like, oh, you want to take a picture of the beautiful food, but it was like, look, come on, here we are. You know, phone in my face, you know, for everything we did. And I knew that wasn't going to go far, you know, because like, it just was like too weird too soon. And I didn't know if he was going to like be regular or not. And regular is important, you know.
What does that mean?
Just as far as like, you want to be treated like a normal person at the end of the day, you know? And so most people
Don't
I
you
don't
want to
have
be treated
that
like a
problem with.
special person
I
instead
know,
of a normal person?
well, a special normal person.
Right.
You know, still a normal person. I just don't want somebody, like, I think if we were in a relationship, I could have really got into like, yeah, babe, let's take these pictures. But when it's somebody that you found, you know, don't really know, it's like, what are you doing with these pictures?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I like you or not. Don't post this.
But the good thing is he probably wasn't in another. The good thing is he probably wasn't in another relationship, or else he wouldn't have been
that's true.
taking all those pictures.
Yeah. Good point.
That's a good way to look at it, right?
That was not
If he
the
wasn't
case.
taking any pictures at all, then you might have something to be a little worried about.
Okay, so I have a question. Okay, so I never do. Even my kids do this. They have their phones, but what is the deal? I never put my phone upside down.
Oh.
I just don't. I mean, I leave it up. And
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know.
Okay, I can tell you.
Well, you can spill something on it. I mean, you know.
Well, I know, but if it's upside down or is it going to matter if I spill my champagne on
But
it?
aren't you more likely to be, sorry, real quick. I find I do actually put mine upside down most of the time,
I do too.
especially if I'm in court or my phone. I moved away from here so I'd be distracted. But I do put it upside down not because I'm worried about who's going to call, but because I'm going to be looking at it nonstop.
That's
and
why
I'm constantly checking my phone.
I don't want to see them
And-
the notifications.
Right?
Come up.
Yeah.
And there's notifications all the time.
I actually deleted. I figured I had to delete the notifications off my phone, and it's just so that way when I go check it, I could see who called and who didn't. But listen, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not checking my phone every 5 seconds anyway when it's on me. But typically, if I'm trying to sit and have a dinner or have a meeting, or if I'm in court, my phone is always face down, just like that. It's not face up, because if it's face up, I'm not focused on you. I'm not focused on you. I'm not focused on you. I'm not focused on the judge or jury or whatever I need to do or whoever I'm with, because I'm constantly looking down the whole time, or no matter what, even in the corner of my eye, I'm looking to see is that phone lighting up or not. And that's why I put it face down.
Really now? I don't know. We're on the same page with this, right?
Right.
You got a girl thing. I don't know.
Right,
You know? I mean, I'm a face downer too. All
It's
right?
very well known that if you are dating someone and their phone is constantly face down, they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
What? Yes. And what
Well,
are
I'm
they
married,
hiding?
so I mean,
Because this is,
what can I hide?
if you're dating multiple people,
Oh.
okay, and you're on a date, the last thing you want to happen is your phone is face up and Frank is calling while you're with Sam. Okay, it's not a good look. I went through that. I was in the car on
What
a
if-
date,
what if Frank's
and
a
he was
client?
sitting in my car, and my phone rung. I didn't want to answer it, but of course, my car told on me.
yes.
And here comes the name, and he's like, "Oh, who's that?" And I'm just like, well, that was my friend. I'm not talking to him right now, because I'm talking to you. But see, when you're single, you can date as many people as you want, because I'm not in a relationship. So date them all.
Okay, so do you keep your phone up or down?
Down.
I do keep it down. I do keep it down. And that's why I could say these things.
Did you disconnect it from your Bluetooth when somebody's riding with you and from your car?
Unfortunately. But see, I've gotten smart, and I hope that no one's watching that I know that might, because what I do is we just block them. Okay, if you know that Sam and Paul and John might call and you're with Sam, then you just block the ones, so that way you don't get the phone call. I learned that after the last time when the phone call, happened. So
Do you unblock them?
of
After,
course,
after the date?
and after the date, everyone's unblocked.
Okay.
But during the date, it is
That's a lot to
blocked
do.
That is a lot to
central.
do.
It is a lot to do, and that's why you don't need to have too many numbers to block. Okay, so I have a limit on how many people I can date at one time, even though I'm single, so I can date them all.
Can you set it up so you can block them all of them at one time?
No, I got to do one at a time.
So
Oh,
where do you
that's
hide that
me.
list at with all the
Oh.
names that you got to
Hey,
remember to
you
go
gotta
and
call
block?
I just remember who to go to. I got to look at my call list and just okay, unblock. But I'm not juggling no more than 3 to 5.
Do you disconnect it from your
3 to
car if
5.
somebody's riding with you?
That's reasonable.
I'm doing that now. And see, dates are simple. We're not saying sleeping with anybody. We're not saying, going over. Date is just we're getting to know each other and we're going outside together. And someone might see you with me.
I like this lady a lot.
Okay, so clearly I'm the only one who always keeps my phone face up.
You have nothing to hide.
I have
bro.
nothing to
You
hide.
have nothing
I do
to
not.
hide.
So Dean was typing up saying it's a woman thing. Okay,
No.
so can you come over here and oh gosh, she just hit the light. Okay, so I'm curious about this. Come
I'm
on.
just gonna say this.
All right, come on.
I'm gonna get close to you.
All right.
Now,
Okay, so psychologically,
Dean's a dater.
I'm a dater.
He's a
Psychologically,
Prolific.
when you look at what somebody's doing and you start to think about why they're doing it, that's actually your frame of mind, not their frame of mind. So that's something that you would do, which you do.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
men, when we put our phone down, we just put it down. We're not thinking about it. Women think about what they're doing. We're not thinking about it. We just drop the phone, and where it lays is where it lays. It's y'all that's doing this. It's upside down again. And we're not thinking about it. That's y'all frame of mind. We never look at y'all phone and try to see if it's up or down. We don't even think about y'all phone. We don't care about y'all phone. It's y'all that's glued to our phones.
But
Stay your ass off my phone.
That's right. Get the mic back from him.
But what? Okay, yeah, you're out now. That's fine. Okay. All right. So we have some people here. I just want who keeps their phone down. I'm just curious. Oh, the man raised his hand.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
everyone actually. Okay.
Everybody keep their phone down?
Everyone keeps their phone down.
On purpose?
No, this is pretty late on the left of us.
Yeah. Oh, see?
He don't care. He just dropped his phone. For all the women's like, yes, on purpose. So y'all accusing us of stuff that y'all actually be doing.
No.
Because you're usually doing it too.
Right.
You're
It's
doing
a
it.
mutual. I know. He's like, okay, so very interesting. Okay, very interesting. Wow, my phone's still up. Whatever.
You're trustworthy, Brooke. You're
No.
trustworthy.
I just don't have anyone calling me.
You're a free
I
spirit.
also listen. The other thing, and I'm thinking that from a business standpoint and being in business and whatever, a lot of names that come through on my phone are supposed to be confidential, and that's one of the main reasons why I keep mine down. You never know who could be calling me that just got arrested or got in trouble, or one of my current clients. And I represent a lot of professional athletes around the country. I never, ever will leave my phone up for anybody to see who it is that's calling me and who it is from that standpoint. I'm not, listen, I've been married for a while now. I'm not thinking about it from a dating standpoint, but yeah, I'm thinking about it from a distraction standpoint also.
That's fair.
And a confidentiality, respecting their privacy as well. So
Nice save.
That was a save. That was a save.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the truth of it. It really is the truth of it. You know.
All right. Okay. So we have shrimp and grits that have been on the table, and these are becoming. I know Dean loves it. He comes here every Sunday, I think. Okay, Okila, go ahead and try it because we were at
I'm
Fox
looking
2
forward
yesterday,
to it.
and everyone was just swarming around Johnny's shrimp and grits.
It does
So here
look
you go.
phenomenal.
Yes, so go ahead.
Around here.
So try
So
this. This is
good.
one of the favorite
Did you get to try
dishes
any
here.
already, Brooke?
Yes, I tried it yesterday
Okay.
at Fox. So
I
go
can't
ahead.
wait to
and-
try this.
Okay, so Johnny, how did you come up with this?
Well, I mean, it's a classic dish. You know, I was down in New Orleans. I went to the Michigan National Championship game. Okay. And my wife and I decided, because we couldn't get tickets to get into Houston for like stupid amounts of money. So we decided to fly to New Orleans and road trip to the game.
This is phenomenal. I'm not one more.
Thank you.
Wow.
You know?
I just need a little napkin.
And on the way back, we stopped for breakfast and I had shrimp and grits. And I said, wow, this is really, really good.
Wow.
You know, so I kind of fell in love with the dish. And I came back, and when I did brunch, I said, oh, I got to do shrimp and grits. And, you know, it's a really quite a simple dish. You know, we get these grits from Anson Mills, which is in North Carolina, and they're the only place in the country where they will actually, when you order them, they will go out and grind them fresh and send them to you. So you get really fresh grits, and it makes a big difference. And you can order them online. They serve the finer chef community, if you will. So you can get all kinds of really nice grains, freshly ground. So we get the grits from that. That's simple. But I cook them in a little bit of chicken stock. I add cheese. I put some Gruyere cheese in there. I actually throw a little Parmigiano Reggiano in there because I love a little bit of that in almost anything. And we use like 2-year Parmigiano Reggiano here. And sometimes I throw a little cheddar in there. But then the shrimp are really simple. I mean, you just saute them in butter. And the key is don't overcook the shrimp. You know, people tend to overcook the shrimp. You know, it doesn't do them any good to keep killing them. You know what I mean? You want actually a little bit of moisture inside that shrimp. But I cook that in butter, you know, and we use grass-fed butter here. So, you know, I just cook them in that, and then I put, you know, my particular Cajun seasoning that I make, and saute them up. And that's it.
You make the seasoning, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really good.
I can
seasoned
tell
really
the
well.
difference in the grits. It's like they're bigger or something.
They're a little bit coarser ground.
Oh,
You
they're
actually
really good.
have to soak them overnight.
Is that the trick?
Yeah, you do. Most like, you know, if you buy like Bob's Red Mill, which is a good quality grit too, you know, those will cook in 5-10 minutes. You know, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
But these fresh ground ones, they have a little more natural moisture, so they don't absorb as well. But they're coarser grind, and so yeah, you got to soak them overnight in order to get them. You know, and then you know, don't be shy with all the stock and butter and cream, heavy cream. Did I say heavy cream?
Heavy cream.
There's a little heavy
That's
cream in
why
there.
it's so good.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Well, you know, come on. Sunday morning isn't really the time to eat super healthy. I mean, you can splurge every other breakfast, every other day of the week. Have your egg, have your
Protein.
you know, you have your,
You gotta stay sharp during the week, right?
you know,
Yeah.
come Sunday, you know, if you got a date, especially, you want to have some comfort food. This is classic comfort food. When she says classic comfort food,
And even if you don't have a date, you want to have comfort food.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hand me
you
that
do.
bowl, man.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You probably eat a little bit more comfort food when you don't have a date.
Nice. Way
That
to make me
part.
feel like a loser. So, all right. So listen. So I was shopping last week and I found these cards that I thought were awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know we're talking about brunch-worthy dates and everything, but who doesn't need a little bit of excitement and fun in their relationships if they're involved? So these are a quick guide to your best date ever. They're actually a scratch-off card, like a lottery ticket, only it's for a surprise date. So I thought this was awesome. So do you want to pick one? Because if I pick yours, it's going to be the thrift store one.
All right, I got one.
You got
How do I
one?
find out what it is? I turn it
You
around.
got to turn it around, and then you have to.
So it says best date ever on the front, and we tripping on the back.
And
So
what's it say?
we tripping,
We tripping.
we tripping.
Ooh, you're going
All right.
somewhere.
Okay.
All right.
So what do I do? I scratch
Here,
this
yes.
off?
You
Here,
got
should
your
I
key?
use my?
I don't know.
Is it okay if I use the back of the fork?
fork?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
go
yeah.
All
ahead.
right, all right.
All right, here, I'll hold it while
hold
you do
that.
that. Okay. All right, so we're going to see what his scratch off date
Oh, this
is.
is a long one. This
exciting,
looks
huh? Oh,
heavy.
you are going places. I hope you have your passport.
Oh wow, yeah, I do actually, but
You're gonna have to take pictures of this date too.
Yes. We need to document it. Oh, you
Let's
haven't
see.
even gotten
this is
through it
really
yet.
long. Wow.
Here.
Hold on, this isn't working that well.
There you go.
Oh my
I don't know if I can do this without cutting myself.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah, no, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
chef always goes for the knife.
Yeah.
You know?
I still haven't heard about your insurance policy. I'm not sure I want to cut my hand off. my hand's worth a little bit more maybe than what your policy covers. This
Maybe
isn't
these are
working.
not
Here, are you
these-
better at this?
I don't know. Let me use my nail. Here, hold this. All right, hold on. We'll just
Oh,
get
don't
it
mess
done.
up your manicure. Your
right?
nails are nice.
Crapola. Why are these?
That's a really long
Wait,
one.
Did it take you this? It didn't take you this long to do yours, did it? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so you're. Oh,
Should I
here.
use a key?
Yeah, use a key. Here, here's yours. Here's yours. Okay. Oh.
Pick
What?
me a good
This
one.
works really well.
You'll scratch it. Okay. Oh, he is using this sword.
Oh, it is working.
Oh,
Oh, you know
yeah.
how to use it better than me.
Well, I'm a chef.
That will do it.
That makes sense.
All right. So is
Let me
this-
ask you while you're scratching that. And speaking of being a chef, so when after you bought Mr. B's, did you change the menu or put any of your signature items or anything you learned in culinary school on the menu?
Oh, I changed everything.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
'Cause I was
it's all
wondering
cooked from
about that.
scratch. I mean, even when it was Mr. B's, we went cook from scratch.
It's
I mean,
incredible.
you know, they did the whole freezer thing, and I just didn't do that.
Very cool.
You know, because that's just not.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
It's
You
good
know.
to know.
Is this your car?
Yeah.
So where's you taking your wife? Okay.
This says your
couch,
this says-
apparently.
This says your best feature. Make a new memory out of an old one. Each of you pick an Academy Award-winning movie from one of your birth years. Can't decide which one to watch? Choose between one of one, the two best picture winners, or couch potato it up by making it a double feature and watching
Let the
two in a
chef do
row.
it.
Don't forget the popcorn and candy.
Huh.
Okay. All right.
Low key.
Okay.
Low key.
Low key.
You know, I can see my wife and I cousining up to some Academy Award-winning movies.
Okay. Love it.
I like that.
Okay, you need to do
Home
this one for
romance.
him because
Okay.
we can't figure it out with the sword.
I'm not that good with weapons. Sorry.
I think you should just do this.
The way he whipped that champagne top off, he's a pro.
Yeah. Well, knife skills
You
are
look like a
important in the
chef.
kitchen. You know, honestly, I teach them all the time. Knife skills are important in the kitchen.
That's a really long one.
Oh my.
I will say this one was a little more tougher than mine.
So it wasn't just you.
Yeah. See?
No, it wasn't just you. This is a
All right.
stubborn card. You know. Doing this.
My wife probably says the same thing about me.
Doing this is a trip in itself.
This is a date. by
Maybe that's
itself.
the idea. Maybe that's the concept. You know.
All right,
All right,
cool.
ready?
See if you can read that.
Okay, go
That's
ahead.
a long one.
All right, I can't wait.
Know that local place you've always wanted to go. Let's plan a fantasy trip together. You and your partner write down 10 places you've always wanted to go and see which ones match up. Pick one. Sorry, there was still a little. Pick one and this is like, what's that show, Wheel of Fortune? Because some of the letters are covered up, so I'm going to guess them. Let's see here. Where was I? Pick one and make up an itinerary for it. Plan out cultural landmarks to visit, local food to enjoy, and museums and shops to hit up. Flesh out your trip by planning little excursions to nearby towns and cities and what you'd like to see and do there as well. Bonus if the two of you end up taking these plans and actually going on this trip together.
Oh.
Sounds like a lot of work for me. I don't know. I mean,
It's worth it.
Well, that makes me laugh. It says if you plan on doing this actually together, like you're going to take someone else.
They shouldn't say that in a game like that for
No,
crying out
right?
loud.
Okay, do you have one?
No, but I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? This one is
Can I scratch for you?
I'm gonna
All
need
right.
you to.
Read my
Okay.
lips. This is yours.
I'm the official scratcher.
Okay.
I think
A new title.
if my wife is watching, she was probably hoping I'd get something I'd be excited about, so we can go on a fun
You're
day.
scratching easy.
But
I
this
like
thing
this
is way too much work for me.
This one's
Why not
scratching
let
nice.
her do the work then? It's still a date for the both
that's
of
a
I
you.
don't
good
know.
idea.
Yours
That's
is
a good
pretty long
idea.
too, so don't, you know.
Oh, let me-
Yep, just wait.
All right, while
All
you're
right, see,
scratching,
I'm
I'm gonna
not-
have more of this
See,
stripping
I'm
grass.
from
This
the
is great.
Are
single
you gonna
era
take
here,
Frank,
so
Sam, what
I
were the
gotta
other
pick
names
somebody.
that you're blocking?
Oh, see, those were the made up names. I can't say the real names.
All right, you ready? Okay. Here, Johnny, you hold the microphone so she can read it.
Oh, okay. Read my lips. Everyone's got a story,
Ooh.
but it's more fun to make one up. You and your partner go to a park or an outdoor space and people watch.
Oh.
Based on people's interactions and body language, you and your partner make up their backstory. Where did they come from? Where are they going? What's their relationship? How long have you known each other? What are they saying? Are they in a fight? Are they long lost lovers reunited at last? How do they do it? I just threw that one in. Try out different voices and accents as you dub in their dialogue. Bonus, pack a little picnic with you too.
Oh.
Oh, really?
I could get into this. I have done this before, but we call it parking lot pimping. The difference is, you order some food from the Coney Island and you sit there, and it has to be after club hours because everybody's going to the Coney Island. The strip club just let out next door, and action. And then you make up the stories. But this is definitely doable.
Okay. Good.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yes.
This is fun.
Oh, do you want to switch with her?
Maybe. I can do the daytime one. I don't know about that after the clubs and strip clubs let out. I'll probably be asleep, but the daytime one I could definitely
For
do.
action. You're looking for action.
Right?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. This is okay. So
That's fun
Your
in
turn,
Vegas.
Brooke.
That'd be a fun one in Vegas.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Any time of the day.
Or a
Doesn't
good-
matter.
or a
Doesn't have
good
to be late at
park.
night.
A
Oh yeah.
really good park.
okay.
All right. Let's see.
Okay, so mine is love potion number 9.
Ooh.
Oh.
I need a love potion.
Well, that's,
It's coming, Brooke.
It's
It's coming. I can
This
feel
is
it for you.
comical.
It's coming.
This
All
love
right.
potion number 9 is the toughest one to get off.
Is it?
Yeah, this
All
one.
right,
This
I'm
one.
just going to keep drinking champagne until we figure this
There
out.
you go.
There you go.
Conjure up a man.
Okay. Well, sorcery. Okay, that happens here.
Exactly, right?
I'm actually amazed at this stuff coming off, and the letters aren't coming off.
These are like durable, right?
Yeah, they make you work for it.
Okay.
Okay, I think I got it.
All
here.
right, you have it.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Oh, I'm.
Are you gonna read it out loud?
Okay, so this is funny. You complete me. Get with your partner and combine your favorite flavors to create a signature cocktail. Base the recipe off a drink that you both enjoy and then add your own flair and get funky with it by prepping these additions in a different way. Give your drink a fun name and backstory and enjoy your creation together. So,
Okay.
I guess I'm drinking an espresso martini by myself.
That is such a perfect lead-in to me going and getting some espresso martini.
Please.
Don't you think?
Yes, love potion. Yes.
I think
Yes,
that's
please.
it right here. Here.
Okay.
Here,
All right. So
let me-
he's going to go get
excuse
the
me for a
espresso
second.
martini.
I think we need to make her an espresso martini.
Okay. So how?
Oh,
how
that
funny
sounds
are
so
these
good.
Cards.
They're funny, but I think if we would have written them, they could have been a little more fun.
Okay. So I am going to. Let's see.
What do you say? Should we create some of our own?
Once upon a time, there were.
Okay, that's the fun part. You get to make it up. You get to make it up.
But okay. But here's the thing. I mean, you've been married for what? 9 years.
9 years, a little over 9 years now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've been married for 9 years, and when you are, here's the thing: when you are involved, I mean, I was married for 15.
Mhm.
So when you are involved in a long-term relationship, things get boring, right? Real life gets in the way, and I thought these were fun to kind of
Kids,
add
work,
some, yeah,
everything
kids,
else.
work, all
You're
of it, right? So I mean, not that you're going to keep these in your closet.
No,
or anything.
it's true. It seems like after you've been married or in a relationship for a long time and kids and work and normal routine and stuff, you kind of get comfortable and too comfortable a lot of times, and you're not really. It seems like then the only fun becomes if you're playing a game like this, or if you're on a trip with other couples, or if you're on a trip alone, or somehow you get away. And it does take, unfortunately, a lot more effort than it does when you're newly dating somebody, or if you're single, or if whatever. But it really does take a lot of effort, and stuff like this does help, and it's a reason to do it. And even if one or both of you don't want to do it, once you actually do it, you're like, wow, I'm happy we did it. We got to spend this time together and had a good time.
Right. And, that's one thing, honestly, I can say this in retrospect because I'm obviously divorced, but the whole idea of the couples that actually plan a date night like every week or every couple weeks, I mean, that is something. And I think that is so important. And I think that, to actually take your spouse to brunch would be a nice thing. But to drink an espresso martini by yourself is even better.
No, listen, I was thinking the same thing. I am gonna bring my wife here to brunch because we go to the same few spots all the time, which are great. Don't get me wrong, but this is a way to try something new without traveling out of town for it.
Yes.
And it is exciting. Everything's great here. The lighting's great. The artwork's great. The owner seems to be okay. It's all
And I like his suit.
That is very cool.
Thinking that too.
Okay, so what do you
And
do?
he knows how to use a sword.
I know, right? Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, that's why he doesn't have any bouncers here anymore.
I don't need a bouncer.
He gets to protect all his patrons here.
I got the saber, man. I can bounce myself. So what we have here is a vodka that we've infused with vanilla bean, and then we mix this with Borghetti liqueur, which is an espresso liqueur. It's a clean, really clean espresso liqueur, and then we mix that with cold brew. We put a few bitters. We put Angostura bitters in it. Normally we put chocolate bitters in it, but we put Angostura bitters in it because you can't do chocolate. And then you just give it a really good shake. And you really wanted to give it a good shake because it's cool to have. You want to have a little bit of a foam on it.
We have a bartender in the house.
Right? So you want to go at least 10 seconds. You want to go hard so you get a good foam, right? And you get it nice and cold. And then when you open a jigger, squeeze and twist. Some people really struggle to break the vacuum. That's the best way to do it. And we just take this, and you don't have to double strain it, but in this industry,
But we're fancy, so we're doing
in
it.
this industry, we tend to do that. Now, when we designed this, we decided to put a little love on top of it too. So I've got some Tia Maria whipped cream. So Tia Maria is the Jamaican version of Kahlua. And I actually prefer it a little bit more myself than Kahlua, because Kahlua is a little too sweet for me. And you have to kind of be careful with it. Oh man, look at that. I am a hack. I am a total hack. All right, I'm not even going to try that with yours. There you go.
Oh, but the beans.
Oh, the beans, that's right.
This is very
This is
important.
very
Espresso,
classic.
yes.
Health, wealth, and happiness. The three beans of an espresso martini.
God,
I
isn't
love
that
that.
awesome?
Yeah, don't overshake your whipped cream. That's what happened. God, I was hoping it was going to come out pretty and beautiful.
All right, come on, just try it again.
Well, you said you were a chef, not a bartender.
Well, I'm not a bartender, but I am a mixologist, actually.
Ah.
I am a
And a
certified.
level
I'm a
3
certified.
sommelier.
I'm a level 3 sommelier. Yeah.
So yes, so actually he does these classes here on Thursdays, right? Every Thursday?
We should talk about that because we're going to give that away today. We do classes every Thursday. Every other Thursday, we do wine. We do different topics from around the world. We taste wines and we have food, and it's nice. It's communal. And then the other Thursdays, down in the Speakeasy, we do cocktail classes, and we teach people how to make cocktails, and we, talk about the spirits and how they're made, and just and they're fun. It's fun. We eat a little food. We do little tastings. So today, 2 people in our audience are going to get free tickets to our next cocktail class down Johnny.
It's a caffeinated cocktail, right?
It's a caffeinated. The next class is going to be caffeinated cocktails.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're
so
welcome.
much. Okay, so this is. Do you want to try? I know you're not. Do you want to just try?
I'll have
it?
a sip. I haven't had caffeine in a while, but I'll have a
Go
sip.
ahead. Just one.
Wow, it's delicious. This is going to get me addicted again. This is very good.
Go ahead and try it.
Okay, that's
right.
right. We're sharing.
Yeah, like, yep, it's the communal espresso martini.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Very good.
Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left. So your best advice, okay, Jeffrey, you are a divorce attorney, obviously, and your best advice for sustaining a relationship because you've seen all kinds of things.
Don't have too high expectations. No, I'm serious. Listen, here's the thing. Nobody's going to be everything you want them to be. And you're not going to be able to change somebody. You might be able to get them to change some things, but nobody's going to change completely. And listen, that's the biggest thing I see right now, though, actually, is from my clients and friends who have been divorced and have this really strict checklist before they'll even go on a date with somebody else. And some of them haven't dated at all, and they're not going to date probably because they're not going to find somebody that matches that checklist. So go out, have fun. Don't take it too seriously. But if you do find somebody, know that you're going to have to make some compromises for sure. And the other advice I can make, which all of us should probably take this advice, is don't get too comfortable because, like we were talking earlier, is a lot of people get too comfortable and it doesn't stay fun anymore. But guess what? It's not always greener on the other side. And so that's something people need to pay attention to as well. But also, don't rush to get into a relationship at all. And I see a lot of people do that. And that's when I have, in my industry and what I do with divorce and criminal defense, typically we don't have repeat clients or repeat customers. It's always new people. Unfortunately, though, I hate to say it, more times than you think, I do have repeat divorce clients because they got married too fast. So take your time, enjoy brunch, enjoy late nights, enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy, coffee dates, cocktail making classes, and take your time and figure it out. But don't take things too seriously and enjoy it.
Okay, so quick question. Is it the men or women who get remarried faster after a divorce?
Ooh, I think it's actually, I've seen both, but I think it's been men that get remarried a lot quicker and that are maybe, I don't know whether it's having a harder time being alone or whatnot, but it seems like most of the time the men do. But, and I don't know if it's necessarily true or not, but it seems like.
To say why.
What's that?
That's because she was already there.
She
was already there. That's all I'm saying. I knew you were going to say that the men kind of rebounded quicker. And 9 times out of 10, it's because she was already there.
Well,
that's half the reason why the divorce started going south in the first place.
Not necessarily, but also.
And he got entertainment.
Not necessarily, but a lot of times we as men probably have lower standards than you women have.
Lower standards?
Like you women are... Most of the time, women have this whole checklist, and that has to be perfect. Like the checklist I was talking about earlier. Those are my female friends and my female clients. My male clients aren't really thinking that far in advance and don't even think that much.
Oh, my God. Okay. You just gave men a bad rap. But
Wow.
Okay, Johnny, you've been married 38
But he
years.
did it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say?
What was the question?
I don't remember.
I made some more shrimp while you're thinking
Well, I
about
think
it.
the point.
This is great.
I think Jeff made a couple great points there because one, and I tell this to my kids, disappointments because of expectations. If you don't have expectations, you can't be disappointed.
True.
So, manage your expectations realistically, because nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We have our strengths and our weaknesses. And, you got to just kind of come to grips with all that. And no, you don't think you can change somebody because you can't. I mean, I always think that, when you first get married, you kind of want your spouse to be your parent. Like my wife wanted me to be her dad. Like he was a project guy. He was a big project guy. Okay. I'm a cook. Okay. I'm a cook. And I shop for food. I did it all. You know what I mean? Which she really enjoyed. We've always had a really great division of labor. Mm-hmm. But I do remember, her expectation was I was Johnny on the spot on the projects. And I'm not Johnny on the spot on the projects, And it went both ways. My mom was neurotically clean. I mean, and my wife's clean, but my mom was neurotically clean. So I had expectations in terms of that. And after, the first few years, you kind of figure out, well, those expectations probably aren't going to happen. And you got to just learn to deal with that. You know what I mean? You can't just hang on to it with both claws and say, you just got to say, hey, we're going to learn to,
Right. Compromise.
Yeah.
Right?
Instead of yelling that there's a dish in the sink when I wake up, just clean the darn thing. Honest to God.
Okay, we've got like
it's
1
that
minute
simple.
left. So
Okay.
what is your bit of advice for whatever the question was?
Okay. Well, I would just say, have fun. I've been married. I've been divorced. If I had to do it all over again, I swear I would have found a way to compromise. I can admit now, as I'm older, I didn't know how to compromise. And I think that's one of the big problems today is it's really easy to run. We do that now because we think that we can find it elsewhere really easy. And here I am, been single all these years later. And, and I'm very open-minded. So, but I'm having fun at this point. But if I had to do it again, I would probably definitely do things different and just learn how to compromise, though. That's number one.
Okay, that is awesome. Thank you so much. So I guess yours is compromise. Mine is schedule date nights, right, on a regular basis. Yours is don't have too many expectations. And yours was
Let's just say don't compromise and have fun. Have low expectations. There you go.
Lowered expectations.
Okay. Well, there it is. Thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun. Johnny, thank you.
My pleasure.
The food is amazing. The drinks are amazing. And thank you, Dean and Capri and everyone here. So I guess the next thing is, when you're thinking about it, what makes you brunch worthy? Okay. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you for having us on, Brooke.